When you play games, you don't always notice the story. Sometimes it's hidden inside mechanics, sometimes it's never explained directly, and sometimes the game never even tells you that there is a story at all. At first glance, these games seem simple, but if you actually pay attention to how they work, how they react to you, how they make you feel, you realize they are much deeper than they look. Today we are talking about 8 games that are way more deep than they seem at first glance. Let's go! At first, Undertale looked like a parody of classic RPGs. Reta visuals, silly jokes, strange characters. Everything about it feels light and unserious. You expect a familiar loop. Fight the enemies, gain experience, level up, move forward. But Undertale quietly removes the most important assumption in RPGs, that enemies are just obstacles. Every monster you encounter has a personality. They talk, they joke, they panic. Some of them don't even want to fight you, and suddenly violence feels unnecessary. The game never forces you to kill. Every fight gives you an alternative, and the game watches which one you choose. But the real depth comes from how Undertale treats time. Saving and loading aren't just mechanics, they are part of the narrative. The setting of the world is not neutral. Characters feel deja vu. Some of them remember what you tried to undo. You can't hide behind the excuse of it's just a game. By the end, Undertale is not about monsters at all. It's about responsibility, empathy, and how easy it is to justify cruelty when you believe nothing is real. Papers, Please. At first glance, Papers, Please looks painful boring. You sit in a small booth, you check documents, you stamp passports. That is the entire gameplay loop. And that is exactly why it works. The game slowly overwhelms you with rules. Every day adds new regulations. Mistakes cost money. Time pressure never stops. Then it introduces consequences. Your family gets sick. Food prices rise. Heating costs more than you can afford. And suddenly, morality becomes a luxury. People don't arrive with dramatic cutscenes. They arrive with short stories, fragments of their lives. A man trying to reunite with his wife, a woman escaping abuse, a criminal with perfect paperwork. And you realize something disturbing. The system doesn't care about truth, it only cares about compliance. The longer you play it, the more tired you become. You stop seeing individuals, you start seeing risks. Not because you are evil, but because survival slowly replaces empathy. Papers, Please is not about being cruel. It's about how systems normalize indifference. And the most terrifying moments is when you realize how easily it happens. Outer Wilds looks harmless. Cute aliens, small planets, a playful, almost cozy atmosphere. There is no combat, no upgrades, no obvious goal. You are just encouraged to explore. Slowly, the game reveals its core idea: progress without power. You never get stronger, you never unlock better tools. The only thing you gain is knowledge. Each planet teaches you something about time, decay, and inevitability. And piece by piece you start to understand the universe. And then comes the realization. Nothing is broken, the universe is not failing, it's ending naturally. There is no villain to defeat, no final solution, only understanding. Outer Wilds doesn't ask you to save the world. It asks whether the meaning still exists when saving the world is impossible. And that question lingers long after the game ends. On the surface, Celeste is just a difficult platformer. Precise jumps, fast movement, constant failure. But every mechanic mirrors an internal struggle. Failing the presence doubt, retrying the presence persistence. Failure is expected, not punished. The mountain is not a physical challenge, it's a metaphor. Anxiety, fear of failure, the voice telling you you are not good enough. What makes Celeste special is how it treats the player. The game never mocks you, it never rushes you. It even offers these options and openly tells you it's okay to use them. That alone is powerful. By the time you reach the summit, the victory doesn't feel mechanical, it feels personal. Because Celeste was never about skill, it was about continuing when giving up feels easier. Inside never explains its worth, and it never wants to. From the first moment you are running from something, or maybe towards something, you don't know. There is no dialogue, no text, no exposition, but the environment speaks constantly. People move in synchronized lines. Guards enforce obedience without hesitation. Individuality feels dangerous. At first, you think you are escaping control. Then you notice something disturbing. Every obstacle feels designed. Every solution feels expected. The deeper you go, the less free you feel. You are not rebelling against the system. You are moving exactly where it wants you to move. And slowly, inside removes the illusion of agency. You realize that even your curiosity was anticipated. Even your rebellion was allowed. The final sequence is not a twist, it's a confirmation. You were never in control. And inside doesn't explain that idea. It makes you experience it. That feeling of helpless momentum is the real story. At first glance, Stardew Valley looks like comfort. A peaceful farm, simple routines, relaxing music. It feels like an escape. But if you actually pay attention to the people around you, you realize the game is quietly talking about burnout. Almost every character is stuck. Some are trapped in jobs they hate. Some gave up on dreams years ago. Some are lonely, depressed, or emotionally closed off. And the game never turns that into a quest. You can't fix people, you can only be present. There is no timer forcing you to succeed, no ranking system, no productivity meter. The game actively resists optimization. And that is the deeper message. In a world obsessed with efficiency, Stardew Valley suggests that a slower, quieter life is not failure. It's a choice. And for a lot of players, especially burnout ones, that message hits harder than expected. Journey removes almost everything modern games really own. No dialogue, no usernames, no voice chat, no objectives on screen, just movement. And somehow that absence creates meaning. You meet another player, but you don't know who they are. You can't talk, you can't explain the tensions, you can only move together. Helping another player feels natural, not because the game rewards you, but because the journey feels wrong alone. And when your companion disappears, there is a genuine sense of loss, not because you lost progress, but because you lost presence. Journey is about connection without identity, about cooperation without reward. And when the game ends, you don't remember mechanics, you remember a feeling. Limbo looks minimal, black and white visuals, simple controls, almost no sound. But the world is hostile. The game never teaches you gently. Mistakes are punished instantly. Death is sudden, silent, and brutal, and that cruelty is intentional. Limbo feels like childhood fear. Being small, being confused, being in a world that doesn't explain itself. There is no guide, no comfort, no reassurance. You learn by dying, and the game never apologizes for it. Because Limbo is not about puzzles, it's about vulnerability. And that raw feeling of being powerless but moving forward anyway is what gives the game its depth. These games don't look deep, because they don't explain themselves. They wait until you are paying attention. So if you like this video, please subscribe, like and comment. See you in another video.